What's up, Scoop Podcast? I'm your host, Erica Kroopin, and on today's episode, we have a guest. I'm very, very excited. We have Wes Jones from Pup Cleanup Dog Waste Removal Service. What's up, Wes?
Oh, living the dream, as I tell everybody that asks me, living the dream. And
The
then
first
depending on
time,
my mood, depends on how I respond. I say it may not be my dream, but it's somebody else's. Or generally speaking, I can't complain. I'm literally living the dream. I'm a lot better off now than I was before.
the first time I actually heard somebody say that, it was this custodian when I was working at U of M Hospital and I was in the cardiovascular center. And I asked him how he was doing. And he said that living the dream. And he just looked so miserable. And when he left, I looked at the pharmacist. I'm like,
Poor guy.
is he all right? And he's like, no, he is not okay. I'm like, oh, dang. And so whenever I hear living the dream, I think about him. I'm like, are we? Are we living the dream? What's actually going on here?
Oh, I'm so much closer than I was before. Man, let me tell you.
All right, well, cool. I'm really excited to have you on. We've chatted a lot online. You're doing some really, really cool things that I want to get into. You're definitely helping out the community and bringing the community together. For those that don't know you yet, give us your highlight reel. What's going on with you?
Oh man, this is really hard for me. Like you, I'm a talker,
Yeah,
so I have a tendency to make the long story long.
it's okay.
Uh, well, so let's just say a couple years ago, I was living what I thought was a dream. I'm born and bred bass fisherman. Grew up doing it my whole life. So always thought I wanted to work in that industry. So I got a job. Well, it first started, I got like a job at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I was working in the outdoor section. And the opportunity came up at a local tackle store. So I'm like, yeah, I'm quitting. I'm gonna go work for this tackle store because it's more along the lines of what I thought I wanted to do. Uh, Things moved around. I become assistant manager, and a new guy comes in when I help put the store back on the map via social media. Um, and he didn't like me because turns out I'm a terrible employee.
As am
So
I.
I'm
As
a
am I.
terrible employee. I push the envelope. I don't know how to. I don't know how to follow the rules. And things happen, and I get the boot. And so I'm out of work. I decide, well, hey, I'm gonna, try to start a guide service and stuff, and blah blah blah. But anyways, that job it crushed me. I lost
Mhm.
that job. It crushed me because it was what I thought I wanted to do. So I go back into the regular old corporate world, I guess you'd say, and I get a job as a third party merchandising technician for Apple. So basically, we were the company that handled all the merchandising for Apple across the U.S., where we install the iPhones, iPads, blah 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 blah. So I'm at this job for about a year and a half, and it's not quite cutting the mustard on having to find side hustles, doing online mattress returns, picking them up and then flipping them on Facebook. And I was making pretty good money, but my truck takes a dump on me. So I couldn't do that anymore because I had to pick up mattresses. And a Christmas rolls around, and a friend of mine, she's like, we're over their house. I bought him a gift, and we're standing outside watching the sunset go down. And she's like, I guess he's not coming today, talking to her husband. And I'm like, who's not coming today? She's all, Adam and I, we both work all the time, and we're busy. I'm commuting to the Bay Area a couple days a week, and we don't have time to pick up the dog poop. So I called this guy to schedule, and this is the third time he's no called, no showed. No called, no showed. She found him on Facebook Marketplace,
Mm.
right? Didn't have a Facebook page. She just literally advertising on Facebook Marketplace. Didn't have a website. Somehow she got a hold of him, and he no called, no showed 3 times. And she said, I had searched far and wide trying to find somebody to do this. I couldn't find anybody but in Sacramento or the Bay Area. I'm not sure if she found anybody in Fresno because we have poop fairies down there. And but anyways, so she couldn't find anybody, and her job literally used to be a researcher for looking up events for the Chicago Tribune. So she can't find you on the internet. You don't exist. I have a
Right.
very funny story that we could go into, but about that, where she found somebody from a card left in a note from a gift outside of a restaurant because she
Wow.
was curious what happened because it was really weird. But anyways, so she couldn't find anybody. And I was like, she said, I couldn't find anybody in Modesto, and the light bulb goes off. Bing. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I just kind of start asking questions. If she knew anything. She didn't really know anything about it because she was trying to be a client, right? So I go home and I start doing research. This was on Friday or Saturday. Start doing the research. By Monday, I had a Facebook page, a website, and I was hitting the ground running.
Hell
Within two
yeah.
weeks, I had 12 clients. And then by the end of February, I had 24. I quit my job at the end of February doing the Apple stuff because I was miserable because I couldn't take on any more people on the weekends. I was completely full. So I said, heck with it. I took the leap. It was stupid. I took my last two checks, I dumped them into Facebook marketing, and I went from 24 to 45. By the end of fall of last year, I had 65-ish clients. After listening to your podcast, William mentioned the book at the end of it, $100 million leads. And I was like, this guy's making seven figures. This is probably a book I should read. I read the book and my mind was blown. I am now a Mosey guru to the teeth. I listened to everything for the past 2 years on this podcast. That's how obsessed I am with Alex Ramosi. Anyways, I took that 65, I doubled it, and then some, and now I'm at almost 150.
Wow. No, that's amazing. It was just a lot like bing, 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 bing. And I know what the audience is going to want to know. We're going to go back to where you said you got 12 customers within what you said your first 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
This is the Friday before Christmas.
So you
Um,
picked up 12 customers in 2 weeks the Friday before Christmas.
mhm.
How'd you
Yeah,
do it?
so the week before Christmas, the Friday before Christmas, December 19th is when our official start. So the weekend of New Year's, I had 12 clients ready to roll. Like,
So what'd you do? Like, what can
let's
you
face it,
kind of walk us
marketplace.
through it?
I did literally what the other guy did. I posted on Facebook Marketplace, and then I did kind of the skeevy thing, and I
Hmm.
flagged. I know you're not supposed to advertise business and services on there, but I would flag his posts. Um,
So what'd you post to get it through? Because I know I can't say the word dog. I can't say
so
the word
that's right.
service.
So I don't remember because it's been well over
Yeah.
a year.
What kind of
Um,
picture did you post? Do you remember that at least?
I used a poop emoji like a pool float.
Ah, yeah. See, that's you got to be
It was
indirect with
I
it.
was clever. Yeah, exactly. So I had to I
Hmm.
it was a little bit more direct then, and then I kept kind of doing it for a little while, and then I realized just this isn't working. I'm getting flagged and taken down, and I don't want to get my whole thing shut down because I did start advertising on Facebook, and I didn't want to lose my ability to advertise on Facebook, so I just shut it down completely. And yeah, I was just white knuckling it. That's what I was trying to do, trying to make it happen, and I did, and it worked. And then I went, full fledged into Facebook Marketplace. I'm not Facebook, but Facebook advertising, and yeah,
What price were you advertising at that time? Do you remember?
$20 for the first two dogs a
Okay.
week, and then I was doing $30 for every other week.
Yeah, no, that's good prices. Yeah, because people ask, because it's been some time for me since I was grinding and I was doing the Facebook marketplace. And so I'm happy to hear that, it's what been a year for you and similar tactics work. You got to kind of be indirect. You have to be a little bit vague, but you post the poop emoji float and people can kind of put two and two together. So then when they start messaging you, you're just interacting with them in the DMs?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's selling them.
How fast are you getting back
Oh,
to them? What's the turnaround
instantly.
time?
I don't. I the what is it? Was it speed to lead?
Hmm.
Granted, I've learned of that phrase since then. But speed to lead, I knew that if I didn't respond right away, I knew it was gonna die off. So speed to lead, you got to answer right away. My phone, that's part of the reason why I even had to hire my daughter because as soon as somebody was messaging me, I responded as soon as I could, almost instantly. Um, because what was happening is I was getting messages constantly between when I after reading Alex's book and creating my ad and all the other stuff that went along with that. I was getting so many messages. I was literally my day would be anywhere from an hour to hour and a half longer just because I was dealing with responses. So speed to lead, you got to answer that stuff right away because the longer you wait, the colder the lead gets.
Yes. Did you develop like a script, like a copy and paste, or were you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I was messaging them, I pretty much had the same thing. Granted, they would ask something, maybe something off in left field, and then or it's at right field, either way. Um, I would respond to that accordingly. Um, but a lot of those were just tire kickers. I mean, still there's still a lot of tire kickers. It's really hard. I feel like, oh, what is it? Probably 1 in 4, 1 in 5 is actually, from the messages actually turns into somebody that schedules. And then from there, it's probably about 80% or so that actually turn into recurring. So the numbers aren't necessarily great. I probably could do a better job, but I'm still young. Business still young. We're still learning.
Well, and
Uh,
that's free, right? That's all that costs you is your time. So it's not like you're having to dump a bunch of money into the Facebook
oh yeah,
Marketplace. So it's one of those things where it's like, are you going to spend the time or are you going to spend money?
yeah. That's two things you have in life. You have two things of value. You either have time, you have money. I tell those people all the time, and I use it as part of the sales pitch every now and again too, depending on how they respond. Right? You have two things in the world. You either have time, or you have money. If you don't have money, you have to spend time. You have to
Mhm.
spend the time to do it. And if you don't have the time to do it, you have to spend the money. And I'm at that point where I'm like in between. I have the money, but I also have some of the time. Depending on how badly I want to do something, I'm going to go either way, depending on what it is,
Yeah.
you know?
All right, cool. I'm glad we covered that because Josh, my husband, actually just started a tree service, and he doesn't really have a lot of money to sink into advertisement because he just bought a bunch of equipment, but he's got some time because
Oh, yeah.
he don't got no work right now, and so I. We were thinking about doing the Facebook Marketplace, and so you talking about this is like reinforcement. Yeah, like yeah, when I go home, we're gonna go ahead and do that. See what we can make happen.
Yeah, it's gotta be clever,
We
but you
will.
gotta you gotta tread lightly. They're a lot stricter about it now.
They are.
Um, and I felt like it got stricter over time, and I felt like I was getting flagged a little bit more frequently. And then as soon as I was starting to get flagged too much, I shut it down. I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't risk not being able to advertise on Facebook where I was getting more leads anyways.
Hmm.
And but those first few actually, I have about I think I have 3 or 4 customers that are still the OGs from that ad, from the Facebook Marketplace, and
Now, how
they're
are
some
they
of the best.
priced? Are they priced on like your old pricing model or
Yeah, so that's the thing. As I kind of as I progress, and now I've got my sister-in-law working for me and my daughter. I've got to up my prices, but pretty much as I come to that realization. Granted, I've only had my daughter's been working with me since like January, and my sister-in-law started a few months ago. Uh, uh, and now that I'm kind of trying to figure that out with the workers' comp and all that jazz, I'm realizing I have to raise my prices, but
Mhm.
I'm not, and I know that I should do it. The problem is that we're going in the summer, and
Yeah.
if I do my price raising now, I'm gonna basically give them a reason to quit going into the summer, and I'd rather wait when we're on our upswing, which is and right as school gets out. So when we get that time, that's when I'm gonna send out the message to everybody. Granted, all those people who are on the have been grandfathered in, they haven't had a price raise in over a year, so it's due.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did my price increase. I sent them out in November and everybody I want to say went active like the first of the year. It went okay. It went good. I didn't get a ton of people that canceled. There was some pushback and I did have to like barter and negotiate. Like I'll give you 6 months at like 50% of what I would raise your rate. But if I could do it differently, I think what I would do is do it for me in like February because that's right before our spring rush, so even if
Right.
people are going to fall off, um, the poop is kind well for us, like with the winter time, we go out and we scoop, but we're not able to get everything up. And so then the thaw happens in like March. So that we're playing catch up. We're getting all the poop that we weren't able to get underneath the snow. So my thought is if some of those people drop off because of the price, now I won't have to scoop their yard and get their yard all caught up. So it makes some room. It makes room for the new people. So it's kind of, you
Yeah.
know, I think it would work out.
I,
So
I
that's how I'm
like
gonna do my price increase next
I,
time.
I like the logic and reasoning. I think yeah, probably somewhere right around September is when I'll do it. And if I lose them, I lose them. Whatever. Um, but we're going to be going into the busy season.
So
And
when is you have your fall busy season, and do you have another busy season? What is it like in
no,
your
no,
area?
I wouldn't say it's fall. It's the busy season. It's just that's when things start to pick back up. Everybody gets right. All the kids start going back to school. People are they start doing kids start doing soccer and football, and I'm going to go to practice and all that stuff. So they can't. So they're not going right. Summertime they're going on vacation, and the kids are home all week, so they could do it right. Or they're going on vacation and they rather allocate that money
Yeah.
to going camping next weekend rather than spending it picking up dog poop. So and the kids are going to be home, so they're going to do it now instead. Or you have a pool, right? So they're
Mhm.
out there using the pool all the time. We're out there using the pool all the time, so we might as well just do it ourselves, right? It's kind of the logic and reasoning. I figure I don't really inquire too much because I don't want to seem nosy or whatever. But that's the gist I get. Granted, you kind of you get a pretty good vibe when people quit based on how they're trying to quit. But
It's
yeah,
true.
so as they start to go back to school, that's what happened last year. Right when kids started going back to school, they started trickling back in, and then right, and then by the time the end of September come in, I'm getting a little bit more. In October, I'm getting a little bit more,
Mhm.
and then on November 1st is when I did my pivot, and I went to the roof.
No, that's good. I'm like processing, and I'm thinking about like what you're saying, the different times and the different type of customers that you pick up depending on the season. So you get the people that have the kids go back to school, now they're able to come in. Then you get those people that they don't want to be out there scooping the poop in the winter, so they're going to bring you on for those winter months and then
Mhm.
possibly cancel what May, June. And then you get the folks that don't wanna be outside in August because it's just so hot and your face is gonna melt off. Like, that's
Yeah,
when it starts to pick up for us is in August.
I didn't even think about that because here in August is dry, so dry, dusty and dry. I'm like right in the heart of almond country. So all around me are all almond orchards, right? I'm driving through. I send pictures to Donovan and Anthony of all the almond blossoms. So it's super dry that time of year, and we're dealing with like triple digits with
Mhm.
no humidity, right? So that's one cool thing. I don't have humidity, but I feel like my skin's gonna melt off because it's burning. It's hot, so dry, and nobody wants to go out and do it. So that's what we're here for.
Mhm,
If you
exactly,
don't
and
have
that's
a
time to
if you don't
flip.
have a pool, man, if you don't have a pool, it's like it's terrible. You're soaking outside, and if you don't have an air conditioner, even worse. Um, my friends, the friends who actually inspired the business in the summertime, they're over on the coast. They have a travel trailer, and they go to the coast. And then they come back because my buddy works in ground maintenance for the schools, and he's like, I hate it here.
He's doing it right, though, they're getting away traveling.
Yeah,
What are you
fishing.
using
They're always fishing.
for sun protection during the warm months?
I'm bad. My wife's an RN,
Uh-huh.
and she's super conscious of that, right? And she's in hospice now, so she deals with people who are dying of cancer on a regular basis. And so she literally just bought me. She literally ordered on Amazon all these different sunscreens so I can try the one I want. She's like, "You're gonna find one and you're gonna use it." Biggest thing is the neck, right? I don't
Yeah.
know if you can see my right. I got it's so dark. My neck is so dark because I'm like this. And I
Yep.
wear a hat and sunglasses all day, and I used to I used to fish all the time. So it was a time telltale sign of a fisherman or somebody who works outside around the water is they have the from white from here up. Well, because my head's down all the time, I don't get I don't get the sun on my cheeks. I get it on my neck because my head's always down. I literally found like it's like a deodorant stick. I've been using it on my left knee. Right, I'm wearing shorts because my left knee is getting sun from the sun shining through the driver's side window, but not my right knee, my left knee. So I use the deodorant stick on this side, and my wife found some Neutrogena. It's like dry something or other, and it applies more like lotion. I hate that greasy feeling that
Ye
sunscreen gives you.
yes.
I'm very tactile. This is my tism, as my kids say. That's my tism. So I've been putting that on my neck, and then my arms. I'm not and the thing is, I have a lot of Portuguese in me, my blood, so I get really dark. I get dark pretty easy. I don't burn, really don't burn. I usually get like one burn, and I just tan. Or if I don't, last year I didn't even burn. I just tanned. I just
Oh,
got
must be
darker and darker.
nice. I burn and then I burn and then I burn. But I definitely want to start talking about like sun protection more because I've been doing this for 5.5 years and I've definitely noticed like the under part of my arm looks very like porcelain and great. But then if
Oh,
you look
here,
at the front of my arm,
here,
super
take.
yeah, super freckly.
Look at you see the
Yeah.
trend. Look at. Or then here I got my whoop strap. I see you started wearing. You have a whoop strap. Here.
Yeah, I'm just struggling with it because
Yeah.
I also think that I have a bit of the tism because I have these quirks that are just very telling, and that band I cannot for the life of me wear on my right wrist. It icks me out. It grosses me out. So I have to wear it here, but it doesn't have a time, so I can't tell what the time is. So I'm bouncing between that and my Apple Watch, and then today I put no watch on.
Yeah. So two things, two responses. One, the tism is really common amongst people who are entrepreneurs. Very common.
It makes sense.
Very common. And it's also part of the reason why we're not very good employees because we don't listen. We like to do things our way. Oftentimes, not always. Not everybody's an entrepreneur is quite like us, where we're terrible employees. But the other thing, so the Whoop strap, I've been wearing it, and honestly, I don't really use it for the fitness function. I use it more for the sleep.
Yeah, same.
Sleep is so important to me. And my kids make fun of me. People make fun of me. I'll go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock sometimes. So granted, I haven't been going so much anymore because it's so hot. It's getting hot, so I'm going to bed a little bit later. But yeah, and the thing, this whoop strap stinks. I didn't need one so bad. And the trick, if you have a whoop strap, tip: if you have a whoop strap, take it and fill a bowl full of rubbing alcohol, soak your whoop strap in rubbing alcohol, and then rinse it off, and it'll kill the bacteria that's making it smell.
Oh, okay, okay. Do you
It
wear
works.
it in the shower? I take mine off when I get in the
Oh, I
shower.
take it off in the shower. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wear it in the swimming pool though.
I have was I in the water? I went into some water over the last weekend, but I haven't been into a swimming pool or in water in probably a couple years. I have no idea why. I just have been staying away from anything fun because the
Yeah,
business has been consuming me.
so I, I can relate so hard. I just relate so hard. Oh man, it's like
Okay,
you
cool.
don't you don't do anything anymore. I
I know
say,
I'm
hey,
supposed to go
bro.
to Wisconsin at the end of next week, and in my brain, I was thinking about all the ways I could come up with excuses to not go. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
That sounds like my wife.
And my uncle calls me and he was like, "Hey, so what's?" Because I was going with him. We were going to see some family, and he is like, "Hey, so what's going on with Wisconsin?" And then he told me he's having issues with like his heart, and the doctors don't want him to go right now. And I was like, "Yes, this is the way out. This is the way out." We blame it on Uncle Gary because his potassium's high. He can't leave. I get an easy out. But then my brain starts thinking, I'm like, what if he dies? What if my aunt and uncle die and then we never get to see them again? This is the one shot. We were supposed to go. And then I was like, should I still go? I don't know. I'm at a standstill. I'm supposed to leave next Thursday. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, man. I think it's too is like you should go camping with us, my friends. So we had kind of been going to this place up north by Mendocino County, Emerald Triangle. If you know what I mean by Emerald Triangle, you know I'm not going to go any further than that. So Mendocino County, it's called Albion. I got heavily into the kayak fishing world during my ventures, and so we go up there, up on the coast, and we go fishing up there. It's a beautiful spot. There's a river runs into the ocean. You use the river to launch your kayak, and it's very mild, easy to get out there. Um, anyway, so they wanted me to go. They keep wanting me to go, and this is second year that I haven't gone, and they're like, "What's up, dude?" Like, that's bro. Sacrifice. I'm making the sacrifices now for the better future. I get it. I want to go too, but I got to make priorities, man. This is it.
Does the thought of like going camping or going fishing where it's leisure, right? You're relaxing, you're not doing much of anything. Does the thought of that make your skin want to crawl right now? Because that's how I feel.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been working 7 days a week up till about a few weeks ago. I need a break. I'm borderline burnout.
So are
But
you kind of thinking about what you're going to do to get that downtime?
yeah, for sure. I got to figure. If I just make a drive up like Yosemite or something, I got to do something. I need a decompress day. I'm
Hmm.
overdue. for sure. I just got to figure out what I want to do, and I got to get the wife on board. Oh, you know what? I take that back. You know what? Tomorrow we got to take my daughter to a concert in San Francisco. She's not 20. She's not 21 yet, so she can't check in the hotel room. So the wife and I have to go drive and check her in the hotel room, check the hotel room for her, and then we were gonna go to a Harry Potter themed bar in San Francisco.
Ooh, that'll be nice.
So I don't want to totally decompress, but it'll be at least something, a little bit of dopamine hit kind of thing.
Are you gonna shut your business phone off and try to, like, disconnect?
Nope. Nope. Speed to lead. Speed to lead. I don't anticipate getting a whole lot of messages on Sunday night. Most of my honestly, I'm very analytical and I pay attention to these stupid things.
That's good.
Uh, and I don't know, it kind of gives me joy knowing that I pay attention to these things and other people don't. Monday mornings is the day I get hit the most. Monday mornings. I don't know if anybody else notices that. Maybe it's just me, but my ads run over the weekend. Granted, my ads are running 7 days a week, but the ads run over the weekend. I might get a couple on Saturday morning. I might get a couple on Sunday morning, but Monday morning between 8 a.m. and like 10:30, it's when I get my most messages. Never, hands down. I do get a couple sometimes between like 6 and 8 a.m., like one, maybe two that I'll be able to follow up on, but my phone will ring or messages will come in on Monday morning. And always too, first weekend of the month. This is a thing I've noticed. My my username, my handle, poker fishing. I passionately love playing poker, love playing cards. I'm not the best poker player, but I'm better than a lot. I
That's
wouldn't say
probably why you
most,
pay
but a lot.
attention. Why you pay
But so
attention
yeah,
to things.
that's a trauma response. We could talk about that later. People have money first weekend of the month, and I noticed this from playing cards and going to casinos. The first week of the month because everybody gets paid. A lot of people get paid the last day of the month. A lot of people get paid the first day of the month, and then you got your people who get paid through like food stamps and whatever government assistance the first, second, or third. So usually the first or third a lot of times, right? So people always get paid. There's always people with money on those days. Not everybody gets paid on those days, but a lot of people do. The
Mhm.
first week of the month because a lot of people also get paid on Fridays. A lot of people get paid on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well. But the first week of the month is always the busiest at the casino. That's also the busiest time when people have money. That is also when you're going to get your most signups. Is the first week of the month. If you want to talk about weekends, if you're going to if you're only going to advertise, I recommend advertising only on the weekends. Start on Friday. I started on Friday morning, run it through Monday, like noon. But that's from my experience. First week of the month, and then the third week of the month tends to be better than it was first week of the month, third week of the month, last week of the month, and then the second week of the month. Those are the order of the ones that I would do. The second week of the month, for whatever reason, is always seems to be a bust. If I'm going to turn my advertising off ever, I will turn it off on the second weekend of the month because it just doesn't seem. I don't seem to get any messages or a lot less messages because I think what happens is people blow their load on the first weekend, so they don't
Yeah.
have no more money on the second weekend, and they got to wait till the third weekend when they've got money again. Just just an observation. Take it for what you will.
No, I
Um,
like that. How much are you sinking into your advertisement right now versus
uh,
Google or Facebook?
I've looked at them. Haven't taken the time to go back through them because I don't know.
You're slammed.
Uh, yeah, and procrastination.
Mm.
I'm a notorious procrastinator. I do better under pressure than another tism thing. It's a dopamine, right? And it gets me fired up. But I do have Google running. We had a group call. This is actually kind of where this part of the where our Sunday Scoop Sessions thing started um, with Justin Owen, and he said he pretty much was telling people how to do it. And we're like, all right, Justin, show us how to do it. So we had a call. There was like 15 of us on there, and he basically showed us how we do it. Blah blah blah. So I set it up. Now everything's run on keywords, and I do have Google run on keywords, but it's only right. I don't have it like keep going. It's only when people search, right? Some people search my name, they search poop scooping, blah 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 in our area. I don't get a whole lot of hits on it because I'm like the only one. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of people in the area doing it, and if they exist, they're not doing a very good job letting themselves be known. And believe me, I look. Um, so it's pretty much just me. So my Google doesn't really produce much. I spend anywhere from like 100 to $200 a month on Google ads, just based off of what is it? cost per click, CPC,
Maybe-
yeah, CPC. But everything else is done on Facebook. Right now, I'm spending about $35 a day on Facebook. Not too much, not too little, but it ends up being like $1,100 a month. I think I spend on Facebook ads. I'm probably gonna start. I might crank it down just a little, only because I don't want to be lighting money on fire. Because I'm not really getting, I won't be getting a whole lot of return over the summertime, but I won't turn them off completely because I still want to keep the branding going, so that way
Mhm.
when people decide they want to show up, we're here, the top of mind kind of stuff.
That's cool. I mean, I think I was doing like 30 or 35 bucks as well. Are you noticing that you're getting messages from your ad saying that you're in violation
Oh,
and
all
your
the time,
account is going to get shut
all the
down?
time. So here's a trick.
Do
Um,
tell.
here's a trick. If you can block the person, if you can block that person, that message, the sender of that message, it's not real.
Yeah.
Because Facebook, you can't block Facebook. Facebook is Facebook.
Yeah, it's spam. It is.
It's
So
spam, hundred
are you
percent.
I've noticed since I shut my ads off because I quit running my ads, I haven't been getting any of those messages.
Oh,
As soon as I
I
turn
don't get as soon as I block them all,
okay.
and I'm getting less and less. I don't get near as many as I used to, but I get less and less. I think what happens is either they figure something out, whoever those idiots are that's sending that to us, or
Mhm.
Facebook has doing a better job because I'm doing it because I keep flagging them and setting, marking them as spam and blocking them. I don't get near as many, and I'm running ads every day.
Okay.
Um,
All right, cool. Yeah, that was something I was struggling with. Because I was talking to William about it. I was like,
well,
I
I
am
my the
mad.
first time I saw it, I freaked out. I was like, "What the like what?" But not quite to a like my whole house is gonna burn down,
Right.
but like, what's that noise? Freak out, like just enough.
Yeah, just enough. All right, cool. So you're running ads, you're speed to lead, you're hustling, you were able to grow super, super quickly. It seems like things are on the up and up. What's something that you're struggling with right now?
Follow up, follow up. Something just I don't. So I talked with Anthony and Donovan on on the daily. They're my homies. Uh, we would get in a lot of trouble if we lived a lot closer together. Let's just put it that way.
I love that
Um,
you guys have that. That's very
uh,
special.
and we message all the time. And they're encouraging. They encourage me, um, and I try my best to encourage them. Granted, I feel like I bust balls more than probably more than both of them. Yeah, I think it's a vulnerability. It's a men and vulnerability thing. But I try to be as vulnerable as I can with the two of them, and they're my homies. We got a Facebook message called we call each other the boys, with like 1,000 Z's behind it. But anyway, so Anthony constantly reminds me that the most valuable thing that you have is your customer list,
Yeah.
right? Because if Facebook gets shut down, Google gets shut down, you have no way to contact anybody because you haven't done a job of collecting their contact information, right? Um, so creating a list, you can then find another way, take your list and implement it somewhere else. All right, you have a contact list, but we want to build. My failure with Google Ads is that I was using message leads. So they click on my Facebook ad, and then it pops up Facebook Messenger, and then they send me a message. Right. The thing is that I wasn't collecting their address or phone number or email address or phone number, so I had no way to follow up. I'd have to go back into Facebook Messenger and then do them manually, and it just doesn't. It's clumsy. It's time consuming because I can't do it mass. I can only do it one at a time. So that's a failure on my part. So I switched a few weeks ago to Facebook lead forms, and I've been capturing their email address, phone number. So follow up has been my biggest thing. I know Jobber has integrated their marketing tools, their like the marketing email and the text.
I've,
Um,
I've been doing it. It's been
and
nice.
I just dragging my feet. Part of that reason being, I think I want to sign up for Responsibid. Shout out to John Noonan of Region Scoopers. He showed it to me, and my mind went. I'm like, this is it. This is it. So right now, it's saving the funds to pay for the initial setup fee of that. And I think that's what my next step is, and integrating that with my system, so with the follow up and drip campaigns and all the other crazy marketing stuff. But I'm super excited for that. It's gonna be a little bit of a thing to have to chew on a little bit because little pricey to get started, but the monthly cost of that's like $250. It's nothing too crazy.
I've done
It
it
is
3
much.
times. I've went through Responsibid 3 times, and I just
Really,
couldn't do it. I don't know. I'm sure they're probably, like, banned me from
dude.
this point on, but I don't know. I'm just too complicated. How I like my stuff, I'm very particular. John
I
went
mean,
through it all with me. I know.
they
He
did what
got
John, dude. It's so
yes.
clever. It's like his little follow up. Like he sends like the random message of like the fake gate
Yeah.
photo to another person, and then and then like 15 minutes later says, "Oh, so sorry, that was meant for somebody else." And then
Mhm.
that guy, oh man, I'm gonna pay him to sit down with me. And Courtney said the same thing. So when we get responsible, we're gonna pay you, and you're gonna sit down and show us get this all set up.
Yeah, how he has it set up, it's awesome. I think about it. I do think about it. I'm like, man, I should really go back to it, but
Think about maybe using Chirp. That's what Anthony's using is Chirp, and they got integration with Jobber too. Um, but this it's very similar. I feel like Responsibid's more aligned with what I want to do versus Chirp. I did kind of look at the two of them, but there's a handful of us who are like just chomping at the bit. We're like right there. We're just at that cusp. That's one of the things that's holding me back. I feel like if I can get that integrated, I feel like I'm gonna hit 500 customers in no time.
yeah. Oh, now
No time.
you're reminding me because I do I think about it, I'm like, if I message them again and be like, hey, I'm back, they'll be like,
I feel
lady,
like
you're a
I don't have
psycho.
I don't have my see. I'm not traction systems processes blah blah blah. I don't have any of that stuff written out. I have it all up here,
Yeah, that's the
and
hard part.
I think the hard part is writing it down. But I know what it is, and I know when I need somebody else to do it. Like I just need to vocalize and have somebody else do it. I probably should just use like an AI and just what's like ghostwriting,
Yeah, you
just
gotta get it pulled out.
pull it out of my head and have it all written down. But um, my systems are I think feel like my systems, my processes, I've got it down very very good. Now it's just now I feel like I'm just playing the waiting game. It's literally just the waiting game growth, and the only way for me to accelerate that growth is to implement systems for follow up. And I think
Mhm.
that's really I think that's it. I feel like that's the key to unlocking where I want to go. Is the follow up. Um, that's the next step.
So is that your goal? What is your goal for your subscriber count?
Oh, to the moon.
Yeah.
I don't quite. I don't think I want to do. Um, not. I don't want to franchise. I think I'm more along the lines of something what Williams doing with Swoop Scoop, and have multiple locations. But I don't want to be nationwide. I honestly, if I just had California, I'd be completely satisfied. Or Northern California, everything from Bakersfield up, with locations all across there. I think long term, what I really would like to do is own multiple home services and basically be the home service in a box company. If there's
Yeah.
something at your house that you do that's something you need, you call one of our companies. We do it everything. That's what I would like to do. Is it really going to happen? I don't know, because as you start adding on more and more and more and more, that's the pie in the sky. It's the pie in the sky dream.
It's easy to get distracted. So, I mean, I think once you get one thing locked and you get the systems down, then you can just rinse and repeat to keep
Yep.
building these businesses.
Case in
Um,
point, William. He's
yeah.
got multiple home services. He's just literally taking the systems and processes for one and just tweaking it, and then starting to another one, and then took it and then tweaked it, and now it's another one. Like I think that's right. And I know there's like you have technician, you have operator, or and then you have a visionary. I'm 100% a visionary. I'm terrible implementation. I'm terrible at I'm through and through. I am a textbook visionary. Always. My wife, she's an operator manager. Like that's her. She hates being a manager, but she's so good at it. She's good at it. Um, so that's another part of pie in the sky goal is to get to this point where she can quit and come help me run the business, because it'd be a lot less for her. She's been in the nursing forever. It's time for her to take it to get a break.
What would what would you need to produce income wise to be able to get her to move over fully?
The business is making more than she does currently, but I have employees, so that's
Insurance?
and insurance and all the other stuff.
Healthcare,
So
retirement.
it'll probably be right around the 500 clients for sure.
Mhm. 'Cause you gotta take all that stuff into consideration too. That's what I did when I left the hospital. I'm like, "Okay, I need to replace my income, pay for insurance, pay for
Oh,
healthcare, and pay for retirement, and then I
I
can leave."
I didn't make jack working for Apple as a third party person. I didn't make jack. I'm paying myself right about the same. When I quit my job, I only had 24 customers. I knew that I needed to have somewhere between 40 and 60 to really be right about replace my income. And granted, this is pre-tax. I was just going to pay myself straight money, worry about the taxes later. Not the wisest decision, but I was done. I was done. I was ready to quit. But I quit at 24, and when I dumped all that money in, I reached 40 real quick, um, and that was enough to make me feel like, okay, I can do this. I can survive. I'm not going to be. This is not going to be the end of the world. But that because I dumped the money in advertising on Facebook.
If you don't mind me asking, what was that conversation like with your wife where you're just like, "I quit my job.
Oh,
I'm gonna
she knew.
do
She
Scoop."
knew it was coming. We've had that conversation. I said, "It's coming, babe. It's coming. It's coming here." I said, "This is it." I said, I pretty much I told her that I know might be rough for a little bit, but I can taste it. I know this is gonna take us to where we need to be. If we're not financially, we won't be financially struggling, but it might be a little tough. I said, I know this is it. We're gonna get there. And she's like, I know. She saw it. It grew fast,
Mhm.
fast. She's like, okay, do it. She's super supportive. She's let me do some. I've done some dumb stuff, and I wanted to use the shit word. I've done some dumb stuff in the past. I've had a lot of harebrained ideas, and this one stuck. This one stuck so well that right, I just knew there I didn't there wasn't I had less worry doing this, and I just feel it in my bones. I know this is going to be something great. I mean, I don't have any doubt in my mind. Honestly, I'm at I'm playing a waiting game. That's really what I like. I have a vision board. I made a vision board. Thank you, Mike Beardsley. I'm pretty sure it was Mike that inspired me told me to make a vision, or he said he had one, and I'm like, I'm going to make one. I've been wanting to make one, but I finally made one. I have a vision board. I have it's going to happen. There's not a doubt in my mind that I'm going to get where I plan to go. I'm literally just playing a waiting game, right? There's things I have to learn along the way, right? I just couldn't. It's not going to happen overnight. I don't have a bunch of money to just dump to blow me up. I'm playing just one day at a time, one day at a time. It sucks. It sucks right now we're driving around one vehicle. We have one vehicle in this house because my other one took a crap. Um, and I don't have the money to buy another one right now. But my she's like, I need my car back. It's like, I know, I get it. I know, babe, but it's going to happen. Just give it time, time. Her patience is running thinner than I would hope, but she's understanding because I know it's going to happen. My guess is by the time we hit next spring, we're going to be over 100, 300 people, hopefully closer to four, and then maybe take a little bit of dive in the summer, like everybody anticipates, and then by then next year, I'm going to be 500. I feel it in my bones. I don't know how many other everybody. I don't know how everybody else feels how confident they are, but and I hope this doesn't come across as arrogance. This is just confidence. I am confident. I've seen what I've done. I know how to do it. I know how to get there. I'm literally just playing a game. I'm playing a waiting game.
Do you have people around you that doubt you?
Um, no, I don't have anybody around me. My support system is literally scoopers. I don't have any friends. I don't have family members. I'm the only entrepreneur. I don't have anybody. But I've I've had enough failures in my life to know what success looks like. And this feels like success waiting to happen.
And so, do you think that because you pay attention to trends, you're collecting data, you're watching, and because you've seen what failure looks like, that also gives you like a sense of security to know that you're on the right track?
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Um, I had I have friends that wouldn't tell. I have people in my life I'm sure won't tell me to my face, but they thought I was stupid. I had one buddy told me that you're really gonna go pick up dog crap. You're literally like, really? When he found, and then when I told, when then I think we had a Christmas party last year, and I went from the 60 to over 100 because we had a previous gathering, and I told him by the end of the year I'm gonna have 100 customers. I told him I knew I was gonna have 100 customers. It wasn't a doubt in my mind, and I had 100 customers, and he thought, said I said I didn't think it was gonna work. I thought it was the stupidest ideas ever. But he didn't tell me that. He told me that after the fact, and I'm
Mm.
glad he didn't tell me, right? Because that would really piss me off. But he told me after the fact, and I mean, I was fired up. I'm fired up now. Can you tell?
Oh, absolutely. When you're talking about it, like I feel it, and I can see the passion. And that's
I'm,
something that I've noticed every time we talk. You have so much passion and drive behind you, and you exude confidence that um I wish that I had. So if you're talking to that person that like does have some self-doubt and has people around them that maybe isn't
all
as
the time,
supportive, like
all the time. Uh, I have more than once. Um, we can bring it now. We can bring it to scoop sessions
yeah.
more than once. Anytime somebody expresses doubt or there's something they need to do, I'm the one that gets right behind them and pushes them. Uh, Myers Briggs. I don't know if you've done a Myers Briggs test. I'm an ESTP, extroverted, sensing, thinking, perceiving. I'm one of the rarer types. Um, I'm actually have a very similar personality to 100% not getting political, but I have a very similar personality to Donald Trump. Don't take it
Ooh.
for what it worth. Take it for what it worth. But I'm natural. I'm a my the title of that type is called a persuader. I'm a natural persuader. I can do it. And other people call it entrepreneur. When I looked right when I rabbit holed this when I was younger, and I looked into it, and it said all the different career types that'd be good for me. An entrepreneur was one of them, and I'm like, there's no way. I was like, I just don't. I don't. This is the lack of security. Like, I'm not going to start a business. Like, there's no way. And then as I got older, and I've realized that I'm a terrible employee. I'm a boundary pusher. It just fits naturally. But yeah, anytime somebody has trouble in the scoop session, I'm the person that tries to fire them up. I've talked to people. A lot of people message me. They need help with uh, getting in front of the camera, shoot a video, right? And I just give them a prompt. I say, okay, what you're gonna do is I'm gonna go to the house. I pretty much send them my ads the way I run it. And I say, get in front of the camera and just shoot it selfie style. But I want you to start it this way, because you say you feel weird talking to the camera. So what you do is you say, hey Wes, I'm out here at my customer's house. I'm gonna show you what we're doing here, and then it's just like that. Send me the video to me. Send me the video to Wes. Hey Wes, we're out here today scooping a yard. Come follow along, show you what we do, and then set up your camera and then do it right. Do the yard work and then end. Then come back and say, hey Wes, we're all finished here. We pulled out about a bag worth of dog poop in this yard. Uh, we service yard weekly. What they do is the night before, our system sends them a message through Jobber. We don't kind of say through the Jobber part because I don't want people to know that we use Jobber, the customers anyways, because I want to think it's my system, not their system, right? Because it's white label. So I say they get a message the night before, let them know that we are on our way, or we have a message the night before, letting them know that they have a certain reminder for the service tomorrow. And then in the morning, they get a message when we're on our way, about 5 to 10 minutes out. Then we're all finished. We send them a picture of the gate closed with an email with a picture of the gate closed. And then when they're all finished, they get an invoice that they can pay online or set up automatic through payments, through automatic payments, so that way they don't have to worry about it. It's all done automatically, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, something simple like that. But
Hmm.
when they send it, I want them to send it. Tell me tell me what they're doing. Tell me where they're doing it. Right? Say, hey, we're in Modesto, right? You want to know who you're doing. That's why you get in front of the camera. Who you want to know the where you're doing it. You want to know what you're doing. You don't need the why, but you can show them the how. The how is right. That's the video you doing it. Those elements help sell it.
That's great.
Granted, anyways, send me a video. Send me the Hey West video. Send the video to Erica. Hey Erica, we're out here today. Put send it like make the video like you're sending it to somebody, because when you're sending it to somebody with somebody in mind, it makes
Hmm.
you feel less awkward. Um, I hate scripted too, right?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Anyways,
No, those are great tips. That's really good. I like how you kind of have it broken down. And you know, I've been doing camera for so long that I'm so like desensitized to it.
same.
So hearing you break it down, it's like, yeah, those are key elements. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who like my kids used to watch that show. Oh, my daughter used to watch it, and the song was "Who, What, Why, How, Who, What, When, Where, Why, How." It was on PBS. Busy Town, name of the show, and that stuck in my head. But granted, I remember it from my first grade. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. And
mhm.
every time I go to try to do, a lot of times I try to do something promotional, I try to remember who, what, when, where, why, how. And I think, do you think through each one? Do you need each one? Not always, but you try to think through those elements, and you want to basically solve the mystery. That's what that solve everybody solve a mystery. So that's the who, what, when, where, why, how. And I try to think through those components whenever I create an ad of any sort, because it answers the questions, because they're going to ask those questions.
Yeah.
But if you present them in the video, they're answered. So now they're all going to know is what's the price, or how often do you service, or maybe the things you didn't necessarily include in that. But the more answers or things you can answer with your advertising, the better off you'll be.
And the video does so much better. I'm telling you, every time I post anything from Canva, ugh, those are just filler. Those are just filler posts.
So this is funny. So speaking of Canva, we were at the brewery, Dust Bowl Brewery. They're really big here on the West Coast. Anyway, so we were there. They have like a restaurant, and over they have like this sign, and it's like dog days, bring your dogs or whatever, right? I was like, oh, the idea is cool, but as soon as I look over there, it's the same half picture dog
Yeah.
that is, the one I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I know.
I'm
I
like,
know.
oh my god! I said they use Canva,
Yeah.
like,
Clocked
and it's
them.
like, and then I see it. Then you see it at some other advertisement somewhere else, and like they use Canva, and then you look like everybody else, and I'm like, I can't do that. I spent too much misspent youth. I spent a lot of time on Photoshop, so I try my best to do my own stuff. I don't have the best logo. I'm sure Adam probably say I could do something better, but I did it myself.
I was talking to Adam, and him and I were kind of talking and about maybe getting like some submissions to him, and he could like pick them apart. If you
Oh,
wanted, if you
I don't want
wanted.
him to pick mine apart. This I got from the dog. I got from like Adobe's like their stock images,
I
right?
think
And
it
then
would
I
be
just
great
edited it,
content though.
right?
Like,
And then but then I changed it. If you can't see it, but that's like not a dog. It's not a paw print. It's a paw print, but it's not a paw print. And like the palm part of the dog, it's a poop.
oh, I can't see it. My screen's too small.
Oh,
And
I
my
would show, but yeah, it's a poop out right on my hoodies. It's this goes all the way across the back of the hoodie. But if you look close, it's a poop emoji, and then the pink, the tips of the finger,
toe
um,
beans. Those are called toe beans. Toe beans.
toe beans,
Toe, like toes, you
right?
know? So toe beans, that's what they look like, the little pink toe beans.
Yeah,
They're
that's
so
what it is.
cute.
But yeah,
Alright.
that if you yeah that little tiny, that's a
I can't
poop emoji. But
I
you
can't
can't see
see
it,
it.
but
My eyes are not doing too hot. I actually had with my natural eyes, right? I couldn't tell the difference between my navy blue eyeliner and my black one today, and I had a realization that I'm getting old. It's happening. It's happening.
yeah, I've got astigmatism. I, I don't wear my glasses when I'm scooping. My sunglasses aren't prescription. Um, but by the end of the day, if I'm on my phone a lot, my
Mhm.
eyeballs are shot. I'll be falling asleep sitting upright.
Yeah, they're like blue out. I have astigmatism too, but I have one eye is vertical and one eye is horizontal. So it makes prescription and contact lenses very expensive,
Yeah,
which
can't do
is cool.
I can't do it. Nope. If I see people touching their eye, like I get all queasy. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, yeah, it's gross. All right. Well, we've been on here for almost an hour. I do want to talk about a couple things before we wrap up. I want you to talk about what's going on your scoop session, and why people need to join.
Kind of give a little background. So I remember a couple months ago, I remember somebody had posted about trying to do like a mastermind group in the Facebook group, which no longer was not supposed to be named. But I think the cat's out of the bag.
Is it?
It's kind of out of the bag. People are talking about it enough in the Poop Scoop Millionaire group, so people know it exists. But anyway, so I saw somebody post about it, and I put a reminder on my phone for it, right? Because they said it was at this time or whatever on Saturdays or the third Saturday or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly, but I put a reminder on my phone, and so every time it would pop up, I was either doing something or I forgot or whatever. But the reminder came on my phone one weekend, and I had nothing to do. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to see if I can get into this. And so I messaged. I found the thread that was mentioned in on Facebook, and I messaged the person saying, "Hey, is this still a thing?" And it's like, "No, it fell let off for a couple weeks." And I'm like,
Yeah, dang.
"Oh, that sucks." So then my brain starts turning, and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do it myself. F it, like let's do it. Make it happen." So I basically did it. I messaged. I think I messaged all the people from messaged all the people that joined Justin's Google thing, and I said, "Hey, let's kind of do this." And we didn't have very many people show up, but I just remained consistent, kept doing it over and over, week to week, and now it's grown. The most people we've had on at one time is like 18 people, I believe.
Wow.
It's an open call. People come in, they leave, they go. Some people come back. It's just open call. I try to add some structure. Shout out to Steven Simmons. He's like, if I'm going to do this, I need to have some sort of theme. I was like, okay, cool. So I try to add a theme. And try to incorporate kind of um, like a course kind of thing with like books and videos and stuff to kind of give something. So we have a topic to talk about the next week. People aren't really doing that so much. So I think I might give that a kick, turn it more back to me where we originally started with. It's more of an accountability group, mastermind, where we can kind of get on, talk socially, holding people accountable. I did create a Google form where I want people to fill out, their weekly goals, their monthly goals, and like their quarterly goals. I think they may even have a yearly goal on there. But the idea is that we can go back to over the period of time and then just compare and contrast to what they had said was their goal previously, and make sure to kind of see if they're still on track by using this Google form. It'll be in a Google sheet, and everybody puts them in there or whatever. I'm the only person who has access to the sheet, right? So nobody else. You want to keep it private, whatever, that's fine. But we're trying to use it as a way of accountability. It also works somewhat as a social call. I don't have any friends or family who are entrepreneurs, so I have nobody to talk to. The people I talk to are scoopers, and I
Yep.
talk to them every Sunday. It keeps me going, keeps me excited. If I have an issue, I can bring it up. Somebody else has an issue, we can help them. You know, give give them a response, because sometimes you have like an issue you're dealing with, but maybe you don't want to ask it in the scoop group, right?
Mhm.
Maybe you just something else. Maybe it's a little more detailed. Maybe it's not something worthy of a post. Something, and then everybody gives you feedback, and then somebody shares one little nugget of information, i.e., John Noonan sharing about ResponsiBid and how he had that going, and my mind was blown. Like I never even would have thought to even ask about that, but he shared it, and it opened up, like I walked through this glorious door into Narnia. Like I had no idea it even existed. But that's the kind of thing. Like if you don't participate, you don't join these. You don't get those little nuggets of information that you wouldn't get otherwise. But the thing is, you also get the encouragement. You get some accountability. Uh, for instance, we have an individual. I will not name their name, but this individual had been paying for Jobber for 4 months. They only put one person into the CRM, but they've been paying it for 4 months. They put one person at the very beginning, and so this person mentioned it, and for a couple weeks in a row, we're like, "Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet?" They hadn't done it. So I said, "All right, enough's enough," and I called them out, and I said, "Hey, okay, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna set a goal. You're gonna have this done by XYZ time."
Yeah.
So what are you doing? I said, "What's the deal?" So it turns out this individual was watching 90 Day Fiance, and probably maybe exaggerating this, getting home at noon and watching 90 Day Fiance till 8 o'clock at night. I don't know if they're actually spending that much time watching, but when you could have been putting all that time, putting all your people in the jobber. And I'm like, nope, this isn't happening. So what time you get home? And cat's jumping on my chair. Um, So what happened to me get home? So I messaged the person. I said, all right, cool. So what do we doing? So well, they just said, I did it last night. I put a couple in last night. Okay, cool. So how many, you do some more today? So yeah. So we're almost a whole weekend. Granted, they had to deal with graduation and stuff, but they're almost all the way done. So this is the kind of accountability that I try to hold people to, and hopefully people hold me back to. Uh, Big thing on mindset, right? Have an open mindset versus a closed mindset. If you haven't read Carol Dweck's book, read it. It's actually really good. It gets a little repetitive, but it's really good about having an open mindset, don't have a fixed mindset. So if I ever say something or do something that represents having a closed mindset, call me out on it, kind of thing, or you know, uh, anything like that, right? Don't speak negativity, only speak positivity. Keep things going. People were real supportive. Mike was super supportive. He's been super supportive. You know, just it's I can't express how awesome it is. If you've got time and you're a scooper and you need the support network, you're having trouble trying to do something, whatever, join the scoop sessions. Join Scoop Millionaire. Join our scoop sessions. So we have transferred it over to there. I will be posting about it here today in the Facebook group, kind of using it as to kind of transitioning between the two,
Yeah.
because I want people to still want people to participate that are there. But that's the idea.
No, it's great. I love what you're doing. I've hopped on a few times. I haven't been the best about hopping on Sundays because I've been trying to like spend time with the family. But our whole
Yeah,
world just got rocked with Josh now transitioning, and so it's like every day because I was feeling guilty. I will say that, like, because I'm grinding so much, I'm doing the business, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take Sunday to like spend time with the family and try to like disconnect.
right,
But now he's in the phase and he's like his mind's racing all the time, and so I'm like, now I see my way out. I'm like, cool. Now I can like connect because I'm lonely too. Like when you talked about being lonely and not having friends, I don't have a physical friend group anymore because we no longer have similar values. And so I
right.
spent a lot of time in the podcast studio, and I've connected with so many of you guys where like you guys truly like are my friends, and when I get to meet you guys in person, I'm going to cry. I just want to let you know that you're going to be like,
Don't
damn,
make
Eric,
me
why are you
cry.
so dramatic? I'm
Yeah.
going to, because
You know,
I appreciate all of you guys so much in this like journey, and um being the support when you're feeling low and you feel like you can't, and
yeah.
then you have people that are in your life that are supposed to be like there for you, and you find out that they're secretly talking about you behind your back, and you're like, really, really, like how disgusting are you as a person? Sorry, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but you guys have all been so amazing, and so I'm glad that you're bringing people together in this group so there is a safe space.
I really wish I could do it more days a week because
Yeah.
I know not everybody can join. Sunday night just happened to be the night that worked best for me.
Yeah.
Um, it probably wasn't the best night period because I have I've neglected some other things as far as the business go that I would normally have been doing on Sunday night, because these calls last a long time. They start at 4 p.m. here, West Coast time, so that's seven o'clock Eastern time. It was 3 hours, right? And these calls have lasted 5 hours, 6 hours, 5.5 hours, the longest we've gone. Uh, Not everybody's on the whole time. No, most of the people are on for an hour to two. But then most of us that stay on are on the West Coast, and we just stand around, and, sit around and shoot the proverbial. A lot of us are multitasking. We're doing work and listening, and then chiming in, and then you know. Uh, but Sunday night works the best. I wish I could change it. But I don't. I don't know. It's not gonna work for everybody. Let's be
Right.
real.
Yeah, you can't find a perfect time, and you're the one that's hosting it, so you gotta do what works best for you. So this podcast is gonna drop not this upcoming Monday, but the following Monday. Do you have an idea of, like, what the theme is of topic of what you guys might be talking about? Or is that too far
Uh,
out?
2 weeks out. Let me see. Like I said, I'm trying to bring it back to more accountability and like goal setting and
Now,
stuff.
what if somebody is, like, nervous that's listening? They're like, "I really don't have much value to offer right now, I'm afraid." Do they have to talk? Can they just listen?
Yes and no. And the reason why I say Yes, it's because I'm not gonna make you turn your camera on and turn your mic on, uh, unless the time calls for it, right? The problem is that if you just join and you're gathering all this information from everybody that's sharing and you're just being a sponge, that's fine. The problem is that other people are being vulnerable. People are sharing. They're giving away juicy information, and all you're doing is being a leech.
Mm.
I don't know how to say that in a nicer way, but
You're
it's
not
not
adding value. You're not
you're
adding
not
value
it's
to
not
it.
fair. Like if I'm being vulnerable and I share something with you that is personal and you're just sitting there listening to it and you're not willing to share, you don't necessarily have to share something personal, but you need to be willing to share, right? And if you're not willing to share, you're not contributing, and it's just not fair. I don't see how any other way to put it. You need to be willing to contribute. Like as you get it, if you're shy, fine, keep your camera off, turn your mic off, but odds are you're going to get called on, and you need to be willing to share. You don't have to go into a diatribe like I do, talking for 5, 6, 10, 20 minutes. Just be brief, give a little question. We need to know you're there, that you're participating, and then as things go on, maybe somebody will say something and you're like, oh, I've got something I can input, and then turn your mic on, turn your camera on. I prefer you keep turn your camera on because it puts a face to who we're talking to, so you're not just a voice. Because if I meet you at the convention next year or this year, if William decides he wants to do it this year, um not to piss on the APOS, but uh yeah. And I don't know. I hear your voice over there, but I go turn and I'm trying to find the voice that I recognize, but I have no idea what you look like because you didn't turn your camera on. It's not fair.
Yep. When I
Do
was
it.
joining you guys and I was making dinner and I had my camera on, I was
That was
like,
fun. That was
I'm
that
like,
was that was fun. Yeah, we liked it, you know.
it was funny. At first, I was
But
like,
you were
should I
there.
turn it off? But I was like, no, I'm just gonna leave it on. Why not?
But the thing is, you were there, and we knew you were listening because you would stop, and then you would turn, and you would like turn, and you participated. And if that's what you're doing, is you set your camera on the counter, do
Yeah,
it.
like you said, multitasking. That way you can
I
be
don't.
there.
We
Because I
don't.
do. I.
We don't care. Nobody. We're not judging you. We know you're busy. You live a life,
Mhm.
and we just appreciate that you took the time to join, right? And you participate when in between things. That's fine. Do it. Participate when you can.
Do it. All right. So for those that are listening, if they want to
Oh,
find you, they want to link up with you. How do our listeners find you, Wes?
um, I don't like. Uh, I'm not an influencer. I may have tried to be one at one time in the fishing industry. I think my personal handle is poker fishing. Oh no, it's West Jones Fishing. I need to change it because I haven't fished in like 2 years. Um, but Pup Cleanup on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Follow me.
Okay.
Send me a friend request. Shoot the proverbial. Send me a message. I'm here. I'm here for it. I like to help people. I like to be. I like to lead. I like to persuade. You know, whatever. I'm easy. I'm easy going.
No, you're
Uh,
great. I love it. I love how motivating you are and the energy that you I'm telling you, because I get down too, man. I got so much going on. I'm like, I'm so freaking tired.
yeah.
And then I see one of your videos and you just like exude this confidence and energy. And I'm like, pull your life together, Erica. Quit being a baby.
So you ever go to a gathering or party and then that one person kicks down the door and says, "Hey, I'm here." That's pretty much me. Granted,
No,
I've
I'm
dialed it
hiding
down.
in my podcast
I've
studio. I'm
downed
not
it.
going
I
anywhere.
dialed it down. I don't just kick down the door so much, but people are naturally just drawn to me, and I naturally just I just bring it. I bring it. I'm over the top. I bring it.
No, it's good stuff. I hope that I can meet you in person. I want to appreciate so much for you, all the information, all the little nuggets of gold that you were able to drop here. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoy this stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Hopefully at some point you'll have I'll start one of these two, and then we'll be competing. We'll just elevate everything together. Just
I would
it's not something on
love.
my plate right now.
John Noonan, he started a podcast, and I believe Cole, he's going to be launching his. So there's There's people that are coming into this space, so it will be nice to have
Yeah.
other podcasters because it's been kind of lonely out here with me just blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Um,
I love the interviews. Keep up the interviews. They're my favorite. When it's a talking head, I have a tendency to turn it off.
no, I get it.
But interviews, a conversation, and allows me to like I feel like I engage more with the conversations.
No, I hear you. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get back into those. I had a rough year last year emotionally. My marriage was rocky. I was struggling just because I quit drinking and having to like relearn who I was as an individual. And I didn't have the confidence to interview people because I was feeling like a FOMO. I felt like my business wasn't doing as well as it should. So now that I got my stuff together, me and my husband were much better. I'm much better. I'm like, okay, I can actually talk to people and have a genuine smile on my face because it would have been faked hardcore last year at the end of it.
Well, she give me a call. I'd have been motivating.
It's one of those things where I didn't want to hear anything. I didn't because you're
Yeah.
very like straight to the point, like this is how it is, quit being a little baby kind of. And I didn't want to hear any of it. I needed to like carry my chalk around in my pocket because I was a victim. And I didn't want
Oh
to hear
yeah.
anybody's anything until I was able to work through what I needed to work through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jessica would check me sometimes. And I'd get mad at her. I'm like, I'm not talking to you today.
I get it.
But
I
she's that
totally get it.
person for me. She's that person that kind of just takes the emotions out of it and says it, says it how it is. And I'll mess with her. I'm like, maybe you got a little bit of autism too. And she's
I
like, I
think
don't
we
know.
I think a lot. I honestly think more of us do than not, really. But
Yeah.
that could just be because I doing it myself.
All
But
right. All right. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much, Wes, for hanging out with us and dropping so much valuable information. I do try to drop these podcasts every Monday. So if you haven't yet, go ahead down in the description I will include the links for you to get in contact with Wes. If you're not part of the Poop Scoop Millionaire, I would encourage you to do that because not
do
only are
it.
you going to, yes, do it. Not only are you going to get a bunch of valuable information, you're going to be able to keep up with Wes and join the group in the club and connect with other pooper scoopers. So until next time, you guys, bye.
Bye.
I love that. Thanks.